Oh, I just had a fish.
Yeah, you did. Another? Big one?
I don't know.
38.
He came in though.
Oh, that's what you little buggers are doing. And it makes way more sense. You say it out loud?
Oh, there's one.
That one there?
Yep.
That's a freaking pile.
That was a better one.
Yep.
She came in hot too.
So they did eat good.
Like, I came in on that up rip right in front and she came right up to it.
How big was that one?
43, 44.
Oh, good. Nice. Weird thing to say about child. Oh. I guess not these.
I guess not in water.
There's one.
Anything's normal.
Small. 33. That one was real slow.
And we'll have a campfire here, that way we can deal with Finley.
Fish! Got one! No!
Here, that way we can deal with Finley.
Got him? That one. Oh!
Just let
There's
go.
been some absolute
Yeah.
tankers in here. We've been moving them just like we saw at the last spot. There's been some tankers.
My hooks were...
What happened, fish?
Last one. A couple head shakes. This deuce has never been ripped before. And yeah.
Tore up.
Yeah, that one felt pretty good. Hey, but at least we got one to bite. Let's catch some more. Get some. Let's actually bring one to the net instead of just 2 head shakes.
Yeah, you put the hammer down on it, but
I'll tell you what, once you, when you get the... So we're gonna change over here. We're gonna upgrade some hooks. I do this on a lot of baits, and a lot of guys do. A lot of your really avid anglers, especially guides that are on the water a lot. You know, we just lost a fish there, and it's one of those things where part of it might have been that the bait was actually followed, the hooks might have followed on the cast, or it might have happened when it was going there. But something, you know, these hooks here, the bigger gap you go, the better off you are. We're gonna upsize to a 9/0, upsize to a 9/0 from the standard that comes on there on the front, and we're gonna upsize to a 7/0 on the back. We've got a wide gap for the front and a regular 7/0 O'Shaughnessy VMC in the back. It's a good idea too. These baits in particular, these split rings are decent yet, but always check your split rings too. If you get the ones that are kind of partially opened and not great, you want to replace those too. On most baits, you can get away with. We'll get away with a size number 7 or 6 split ring, but you want to mix it up and put some better quality stuff on there. In most cases, unless you're dealing with the absolute largest fish, you're not going to have too much of an issue with those pulling out, but it can be an issue. And you want to go like this, get something where these are where you've got the hook where it lines up straight with the side. That way it lays flat to the body, and you've got yourself a much better gap across the body of the bait, where it's not so much. It's a little bit wider, but you can see how it comes out a little wider on the side of the bait. On these larger rubber baits, you can only go so big, but it's nice to have a little bit of that hanging out of there, so when those fish grab it, you're able to get a piece of them on the side there versus it being completely covered by rubber. On hooks that don't have that, where it eyes up like this, you can take a second pliers, and even on this one here, we'll tee this out a touch too. Take these. Again, not 100% necessary, but it is a nice little thing where it widens out that gap just that littlest bit, and it makes and it can make all the difference of just getting a little extra piece of that fish. Like so.
Kind of teeing the hooks.
Yep, teeing them and using a wider gap. Now you can see it hangs out, when it's out there, it hangs out a little wider than the body of the bait. That will increase your hookup percentage, and you know, muskies in general are a low percentage fish. And I would say, you know, one of the things I would say that helps me put more fish in the boat for my customers are little modifications like this, whether it be upgrading the quality of your hooks, the size of your hooks, making small modifications to baits like that just help you take advantage of those 1 or 2 chances that you'll get during the day, especially in a tough bite or even on a big bite, any bite, right? I mean, every muskie bite is a rare commodity, and you want to take advantage of every single one. So making that one little change can, you know, the difference between 1 fish in the bag and 0, you know, which is huge.
Well, just gotta get it. Welcome
Bring
back.
that box up.
Welcome back to another video of Smith Fishing Outdoors. I'm Fisher Smith, and today we're fishing with Jeff Van Remortel, and actually kind of doing a late start on the outro. We got out here right away at 7 o'clock. We had a good major, and we got some fish going, so we just kind of wanted to fish, as you guys probably seen.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah, we got out here right away. We wanted to start this morning, and we had major moon actual was at 7:15, and we had a big pot of fish I wanted to come back on here. We had some storms that showed up last night that weren't supposed to come till later today. We are supposed to still get some storms this afternoon, but got out here. There were still a few rain clouds in the area, to the north, to the south. The weather was still juicy, so we wanted to make sure we took advantage of that. We got out of the water and started right away, and started to juice back up. We moved, I don't know how many fish, a good dozen and a half at least. Yeah, a dozen. I think we moved a dozen in that first little bit there. So yeah, we had a lot of fish moving, and we had one really good bite that shook off, and another rip that didn't stay pinned. So we did have a couple of fish moving. So we'll see what this afternoon brings. We kind of caught the tail end of that window with the storms kind of breaking things up early, but this afternoon looks good. It'd be a good day for a big bite for sure.
Yeah, I think we're gonna jump lakes and hopefully stick on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hop over somewhere else and see if we can get a nice quality fish for the day.
Changed lakes, chasing around by storms, just got wet. Of course, I don't have a coat. And fishing a nice little cabbage bed, and it's starting to rain again, but throwing a bucktail on the Salt 6 SWAT. It's a 9-footer with the PC Fun Alloys 300. 8-9 to 1. Fish, fish, fish. No, it's a pike.
Talk to us about this Muskie Academy, Jeff.
Yeah, right on. So the Muskie Academy, it's based off of all my experience on the water, and it's designed as a tool to help the average person go out and catch more fish. Basically, it's a two-part deal. We've got a private Facebook group where all the members can get together, talk amongst themselves, of course, and I post things in there as well as weekly muskie reports to get you dialed in when you're heading out on the water. I mean, even the best fishermen, if you're not on the water all the time, it's really hard to stay dialed in. You know, a lot of times you find yourself going out fishing and you get out there for the weekend, and by the time you figure out the bite, it's time to go home. So it's really nice to be able to go out and start on third base. I'll go over basically everything that worked in my boat over the past week, and give some direction as to what I expect based on the incoming weather and what the fish are up to and different types of lakes and that. Like I said, starting on third base heading into the weekend. The other part of that, and the meatier part of that, that helps back all that, is the online catalog of videos. We've got about 240 videos in there currently, and we'll add to that annually as well. And it covers everything, the seasonal progression, the changes in the lakes, what the fish are actually up to, and there's a lot of stuff in there that you're not going to find other places. goes into detail on other things too, stuff like mayfly hatch, Cisco, and all the stuff that goes on in these systems throughout the year and what the fish are doing in response to that. We're all aware of big movements of fish for something like the spawn, but there's those seasonal movements for other reasons throughout the year that help you figure out where those fish are at and what those fish are doing based on the type of system, and that's everything from your natural lakes, flowages, Cisco lakes, and seepage lakes, everything in between. So there's a lot of information there, everything and tons of hacks for re-rigging baits and modifications and a lot of that stuff as well. So there's a ton of information. It's all in one place. It's super easy to use. Sign up takes about 30 seconds, and you can sign up for that at Muskie with a Y Academy.com, MuskieAcademy.com.
So we're on a new lake. What's your, deep, clear?
Yeah, so we switched it up today. We moved. We're on our third lake for the day. The windows didn't quite line up with what we thought. They were talking about storms coming later. Surprise storms kind of showed up right on top of us. We did have a nice open mouth swat at that last lake. Now we came to the other one here. We've contacted a good number of fish on both lakes. Had some lookers and a little bit of nibblers, but we're going to go try something a little different. So we switched up here to a sandgrass lake. A lot of times if you get a day where you have, things can feel right, the conditions feel pretty good, and the fish just don't seem to be cooperating, those juicy conditions are usually producing a bite somewhere. Sometimes you're just on the wrong type of lake. In northern Wisconsin here, we've got a lot of different kinds of lakes. So trying to figure out which one of those, we almost kind of came and did this program earlier, but I thought we had a little bit more of time before we hit that window, because we wanted to hit, for the major, I wanted to hit some big fish water tonight. This was one of 2 lakes on my list, and it's the closest one from where we just came from, so this is where we came. But the big thing is you're changing that type of lake. Right? If they're not going on a brown stain lake, maybe try a green bloom lake. If they're not going on that, maybe try a sandgrass lake. If they're not going on that, maybe go to Cisco water, is kind of the progression there. But we jumped right here. We're going for a big fish tonight, and we'll see if we can't put one in the bag. And again, trophy scenario, low density water, but definitely a couple fish that are worth contacting.
So what are you doing now?
I'm ripping a regular Medusa with a weight on the front.
Getting it down?
Yeah.
A little more slower pulls?
Yeah, longer, slower pulls. Kind of like this. Instead of, if we were ripping shallow, I'd be up. If we were fishing 14 feet of water, I'd be ripping like this. But instead of slower rips, kind of, if there's a fish in the area, he'll be able to see your bait, and you kind of want that. Instead of jumping all the way from his face. And you want it to get a little bit deeper too. Woo! One hit the boat, I think. Oh, why are more coming down? Oh my goodness.
I actually got hit in the rod.
Oh, they're coming down. Oh, I got hit in the leg. This is scary. Last time we were with you, it hailed again.
Yeah, no kidding.
These are big hail too. Oh, guys.
Fish! Fisher!
It stings.
Hey, can we do an outro?
It's a feeding frenzy, dude.
Let's do an outro.
All right, boys, that's all for today.
Yeah, that's all.
Look at it.
We'll link his
Like
guide
and
business
subscribe.
in the description.
See you in the next show. See you in the next adventure, right?
See you in the next adventure.